Alright guys, so I picked up a new optic. This is the PO104 from NPZ. This bottom one right here. Supposedly it's the replacement for the now discontinued a few years ago, the NPZ Wolf PSU. They are both 1 power, 4 power optics, just like the Elcan Spectre DR, where you switch between 1 power and 4 power. Nothing in between, just switch between the two magnifications. I got some notes here. Hopefully this will keep me on track. No promises, but I'll do my best. But this is pretty much a highlight of some negatives between the new model and older model. Mostly on the newer model because this is what's supposed to be replacing the older model. But anyway, you'll notice that it has a smaller body. Nothing wrong with that. It's smaller in diameter. But the thing is that it's coming at 23 ounces. It's kind of heavy. The PSU is about 24 ounces, or actually a little bit over 24 ounces. So you're not getting a whole lot of weight loss in terms of going into the newer model. The QD levers, they go both forward. And they can present a snag hazard, especially for left-handed shooters. Especially with the small lever sticking out this far out and kind of at that angle. Yeah, that could be a snag hazard. The PSU, they both go inwards. You move the lever laterally and pull out. This one you press down and pull out. They are adjustable. That's good. What else is there? The adjustments, you'll notice that the adjustments are about 2 centimeters and 100 meters. Basically about an inch and 100 yards, if we were to round it up to imperial terms. That's very coarse compared to some LPVOs on the market right now. Those are going for about ½ inch at 100 yards, which is fine and usable. But 2 centimeters, 100 meters, or inch and 100 yards, that's very coarse. So you're not going to get a whole lot of precision use out of this optic, or especially for like longer ranges. The PSU is ½ inch at 100 yards, so that's fine and dandy. What else is there? Okay, so you notice on the PO104, you have a thicker eyepiece. You end up seeing the ring, the black ring, where you aim down the optic. So that could be annoying to some users, or most users really, because they're not used to seeing that bad of a eyepiece. You'll notice that it does have a piece of tape which I put over it. This is because the lens are the diopter is adjustable, so you can adjust it to your eye. On the NPZ, it's not adjustable, but you do get a very wide ocular lens and a somewhat thin ring, I guess you'd call it. And you do get a fairly wide field of view when it comes to the PSU. Kind of similar to the ACOG, I forget the numbers, but it's just shy of what you get out of an ACOG at 4 power. So that's a very wide field of view, and ACOGs are known for having, or at least the 4 power mark are known for having a fairly wide field of view. On the PO104, it's kind of narrow, on par with just about any LPVO on the market. 24 degrees at 1 power and 6 degrees at 4 power. It's not too bad, it's not that great, it's usable. Okay, next point. Color magnification, okay. Alright. Flip things over here. Right, so the throw lever on the PO104 is located on the rear. It's fairly easy to move, you just slide it back and forth. It does have a detent, which you can hopefully see, to keep things in place. It doesn't move around easily. Just slide it back and forth with a little bit of force. On the PSU, you have to pull down inside it between 1 power and 4 power. Easy to do, but it is locked every time you switch between 1 power and 4 power. And it's located more towards the front. Now this is the next point right here. It's located on the rear. So if you want support, you have to grab the mag well and pull down, or pretty much push back and forth. Or you can just grab from somewhere, but it's located on the rear, so you have to reach more farther in order to move the magnification. On PSU, not as much, but you do have the function of having to pull down and move things. And the Illumination, it's kind of daylight bright. Let's see right here. Yeah, it's kind of daylight bright, not really. It's roughly on par with, let's say, the Primary Arms ACSS Cyclops, the 1 power prism sight that they have. Maybe a little worse. It's not that bright. You can see it during the day, but I wouldn't exactly use it until, like, say, a little bit more towards the evening, say dusk maybe. That's when it really shines. There you go, that's the reticle right there. If I can just get it to focus. Focus. No, it just won't stay focused. Yeah, it's the first focal plane. This is the fast cross reticle. See, oh, whoops. Okay, that's the 4 power, and that's the 1 power. Pretty neat. I like it. But you'll notice that on the fast cross reticle, and this goes for the same for their BBC reticle, but you'll notice that there's dead space in the middle. That's about one or 1.5 or 2 inches, something like that, at 100 meters. The PSU, you get, come on, focus. Why am I holding this? You get about 7 adjustments, and no stops in between, like the PO104. But it's not daylight bright. You can't see anything until really dark, like pitch dark at night, pitch black. Stops in between, but these are fairly easy to move on the PO104. I don't like that. You might end up knocking it out of its setting. And the PSU, not as much. It's kind of stiff, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned in my mini review that everything is crude. It feels really gritty. You know, it doesn't really matter. Not to me as much. But anyway, the price. So the PSU, when it was still being sold on the market, its MSRP was roughly about $1,200. You could get it for much less, under $1,000. I got mine for about $600 because it was already discontinued and everything. The PO104 comes at about $600, $700, maybe $800. Usually around $700. I got mine for $600. And is it worth it? Well, that's up to you. I can say that the glass is really nice. Pretty much it's kind of competitive with pretty much any optics on around $600 mark. Same goes for PSU. Very clear. They both do have a yellow tint that Russian optics tend to have. Although the PO104 is a bit more natural. The PSU is more on the amber, stronger amber side. And, I think that's just about all the points I have to make. If I have anything else, I'll probably put it at the credits or just make it put it in the description box or whatever. You'll see it. But yeah, these are some things to know about the PO104 before you start buying it.